What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk to you about Lucid. I want to go over some of the data points, latest and updates, and everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So Lucid is down 1.15% to 213 the low, 218 the high, and 44 million shares being traded. So a lot of that volume, even though it is a little bit lower, is still coming from algorithmic trading because these are all the transactions occurring on the secondary market. So only two, and unfortunately, both of them are sells. One for 106,000, other one for 402. So big money is not really buying the Lucid dip exactly. And it's not just Lucid. This is pretty much happening across the board. They're having algorithmic trading really suppressing a lot of stocks. But aside from that, on a macro standpoint, you did have PPI and also initial jobless claims coming out, both flat. Market generally liked that. So as soon as this data did come out, it started to move higher. But aside from that, the market is kind of just waiting for the next big catalyst, and most likely that's going to be a deal with China. But specific to Lucid, there isn't any news, no SEC filings or anything like that. Posted online by Lucid Oasis was this. So I guess Lucid had the grand opening of its Phoenix Innovation Hub, and this is Nikola's old headquarters. So it's good to see Lucid really kind of turn this around fairly fast. I think in like, was it 2 months or something like that? But still, is this a reason to buy Lucid or sell? Not so much. And I think in reality, that is Lucid's biggest problem. And so I've been covering Lucid for a while, a long time, in fact, since 2021. And periodically you go through these periods when there isn't any catalyst. And unfortunately, institutions will not be buying any stock based on speculation. So it needs some sort of catalyst. And unfortunately, given Lucid's circumstances right now, it's stuck in limbo. The midsize, too far out to start buying it based on that. And in the short term, like, we haven't really seen a significant ramp up. So I think it's just kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. And you can kind of see that institutions are hesitant with Lucid because of this. So this came out roughly 20 minutes ago. So auto tariffs may go up in the not too distant future. So last time this was announced, Lucid went up significantly because this benefits obviously Tesla, Lucid, and Rivian. But as you can kind of see based on the stock price, didn't really do anything. Caused a little bit of a blip right here, like 2 cents up, but that was kind of short-lived. So at the end of the day, institutions are rather hesitant with Lucid. So I think just Lucid really needs to be more transparent. Even going back over here, as far as I'm aware from the last earnings, they didn't really disclose what this is truly going to be used for. So coming from an investor standpoint, yeah, having a grand opening of this is good, but like, what's the purpose of it? So yeah, that's just my 2 cents. Of course, some people might disagree with me on that, but I think just Lucid really needs to give investors a reason to buy the stock, not just like, hey, we are going to do XXX or whatever down the line. Like, this is like, we're a game changer. And I think, like I mentioned over the last couple of videos, Lucid has lacked passion. And unfortunately, not to bring up Peter had a lot of passion. He wasn't that business oriented, but he had a hell of a lot of passion. So I think just bringing him back as even in the CTO role, not as a paid consultant just to be pretty much put on the side, for him to be CTO, I think that would be huge for the company. So I don't know what needs to be done to somehow get that, move him into that role or something along those lines. Or do you disagree with me? Do you think that Peter should just stay the hell away from Lucid and that we need to think forward? What's your general thoughts on all of that? When it comes down to shorts, they are increasing 1.81 million shares. 30.54% of the free float is being shorted. It works out to be 376 million shares. So shorts are taking advantage of all of this, of all the grayness in the broader market, and are doubling down. So interesting to see, but then again, that's kind of normal for Lucid. But looking at the options, so you do have right now 260,000 in calls, 175,000 in puts. 56% of all the options being done are bearish in nature. So again, just Lucid's not really giving investors a warm, fuzzy feeling saying that, hey, you need to buy in now before things go up significantly. They're not really giving investors that kind of feeling. But from the bulls, you see a consensus for it to be roughly $250, and even you're seeing pockets of $2. That's kind of interesting. In the past, we've always seen a solid 250 optimism. So definitely optimism is diminishing a little bit today. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub 250, and in the foreseeable future, it looks as though it's sub 2, which is anticipated. With it right now at 215, it is trading right now below this S1. So between this S1 and this S2. So $1.99 is going to be a strong support. 218 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. On the actual chart itself, below all of the key pivotal moving averages that I generally like to look at, over the last couple of days, it did show some signs that it wanted to break out, but not really enough kind of meat on the bones with the broader market to kind of justify that. Stochastic RSI still very oversold, so that still could really benefit it going forward. Just needs that catalyst. Like I said, whether it be specific to Lucid or even on a larger standpoint, aka a China deal, then that is where you'll see a nice push higher. Probably in Lucid's case, big money still might be rather hesitant, but you'll have algorithmic trading really pushing Lucid up. And still no new analyst ratings. So last one was done, I think 6 days ago, if I remember correctly. Once this pulls up, sorry, completely off, 24 days ago. So yeah, it's been a while since we've seen that, and most likely we won't see a new rating up until their upcoming numbers. So we have roughly 2 weeks left for the end until the end of Q2, and then that's where Lucid will be putting out their numbers. So we'll wait and see if they hit the mark or if people start to panic or whatever else. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. Do you think that Lucid's doing everything they can to really boost shareholder equity in the stock price, or do you think that they are somewhat missing the mark, or do you think I'm being too difficult on them? So what's your general kind of 2 cents on Lucid? One final thing, pop over to my Discord, completely free. A lot of good people talking about stocks, options, crypto, everything that you ever need in life. So definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. And my apologies on not doing a video yesterday. I don't know if you can tell, I'm sweating like crazy. I have crazy fever and all that fun jazz. So it's not been a fun time. So if I said something that is completely random in this video, my apologies. I'm quite sick. So with all that, appreciate all of you guys watching.